So I'd like to share with you today some ways that you can use reflexology to help manage your stress levels. We all have a lot of stress in life these days, and the real key thing is to be aware when we're feeling stressed and then being able to do something about it. So the key is to actually help to alleviate your body from being in that state of fight or flight and help it to be more in a parasympathetic state, which is when it's in the rest and digest part of its nervous system, and it does all the housekeeping duties and can maintain its homeostasis. So reflexology is an amazing tool to be able to do that. And I'm going to show you 3 reflexes that you can work on your own hands or on your feet, that can help to alleviate the body from being in its fight or flight state. So first of all, I'm going to show you on the hands 3 reflexes that are, 2 are on the thumb. You've got your brain, which is all represented by the thumb. You've got your hypothalamus and your pituitary gland. Now these are 2 really important glands in the brain that basically between them regulate your homeostasis, as well as another one which is called the vagus nerve. Now that's a real key thing to be able to stimulate, which allows the body to be back in its parasympathetic state. So let me show you where you find them on your own hands. So if you see in your thumb, you've got the thumbprint. The centre of the thumbprint represents where you find the pituitary. Now it's quite a hard reflex to find because it is a very small gland in the brain, and it's a very small, very precise reflex of where you find it on the thumb. So if I just mark it down where it is on my thumb, I'm going to show the other 2 as well. So to pinpoint where your own pituitary gland is, you need to find the centre of your thumbprint. So use your bent thumb technique, which I showed you last time. And I'm going to use the side of my thumb. You do need short nails for this, by the way, otherwise it's just going to be pressing your nail into your own thumb or into your big toe. And I'm going to press on that centre of the thumbprint and sort of draw very tight, small circles. Now, you should find that it feels a bit sensitive. When you find it feels sensitive, you've found the pituitary gland. And another key tip is to actually go on sideways on. So can you see, as I am working that point there, I'm kind of going onto it sideways. And then you should be able to find your own pituitary gland. Now, if it's painful, it does indicate that it's working hard, and that probably means that you have got a certain amount of stress going on, and your pituitary tells the adrenal glands to release adrenaline and cortisol, so it works really hard. So stimulate that, work that, keep that pressure on the pituitary gland for at least 10 to 15 seconds. And this can be done at any time during the day that you're feeling stressed, that you feel that you've got full of adrenaline and cortisol. And this can help to calm all of that response down. Okay, so the more you work it, the more it can help to rebalance it. The second reflex I'm going to show you is very close to the pituitary. Now, as you can see, I've drawn another dot, literally a millimetre above where I found the pituitary. So you've got the pituitary there, and then you've got the hypothalamus a millimetre above it. And again, with exactly the same technique, you press on that point and stimulate it. You're trying to rebalance it. You're trying to calm it down and keep that pressure on for as long as it takes to feel less painful. Don't worry if it does feel particularly painful. I mean, this is what reflexology is all about, is to help to rebalance these areas. And you should find after a few seconds or 10 or 20 seconds that it feels less tender. So that's a really good indication that you've helped to rebalance it, to calm it down. Because alongside the pituitary, the hypothalamus works really hard with trying to keep your body in balance, and it is responsible ultimately for the fight or flight response. Okay, that needed a bit of work on my hands actually. So that's rebalanced nicely, and I don't feel it's tender anymore. And then the last point is something called the vagus nerve, which you're going to find here. So it's down in line with your index finger, and it is where you'd imagine you've got this diaphragm line. If you look at the hand chart I showed you, you've got a point there just above the diaphragm but low where this area of the lung is. So I'm going to use my thumb technique and press up on that point there. Now the vagus nerve is very much like the reset button. If you stimulate your vagus nerve, then you're going to be stimulating the body to be in a parasympathetic nervous state. And this can really help pressing this vagus nerve to get your body back to being in a relaxed state. So the more you work on these 3 key reflexes that are all about the stress response and inducing parasympathetic nervous state, the more you can help yourself to manage your own stress levels. And of course, you can practice this on your feet exactly the same. You can see you've got your 3 glands in the brain there and the reflex for the vagus nerve here, very similar to where you find them on the hands. So I hope that's helpful. I hope you can help to, when you are feeling stressed, work on those 3 reflexes and you will feel a better sense of calm and help to manage your stress. So these are tools in your box that you can use anywhere at any time, and hopefully you'll find that helpful. And I've also added to this email the top 10 tips to help you manage your own stress. So it's got some useful advice there you might be able to incorporate. Okay, I hope this has been really helpful and hope you've enjoyed watching. Thank you.